Hello everybody and welcome to a tutorial about how to export height fields from Houdini to Unity. And as you see here on the screen, this is what we're going to do. And it's a very basic thing, but I'm going to show you how it works. And there are some small gotchas and things you need to know. Especially if it's the first time, this is going to be a super great tutorial for you. So how to have the height field in the right rotation and the right size and get the height you expect and so forth. Yeah, we're going to be a small bit in Photoshop just to fix the texture as well. So let's get started. So the first thing, of course, we're going to go into an empty scene. And what do you want to do? You want to go into, if you don't already have, of course, but you want to install the terrain tools. And then you find it here, terrain tools, and I have it here. So I have some settings since before, but we're going to go through them. So now we have this thing going on. And in Houdini, we're going to just save it next to my file here. So everything goes easy. So I save it, it's the right position, and now it's here. So when I save all the files, they're going to pop up here, so it's easy to work. So the first thing we're going to do is to make a geometry folder, and in here, we're going to do a height field. So there are some settings here, and I find it a little bit confusing because I've been reading this Houdini terrain height fields, especially for Unity, and even though it doesn't really work when I do the way they tell me. So, but I'm going to show you the way I've done it, and also tell what they told and the difference. But the first thing that I did in the height fields, the grid space I changed to 1, so it's kind of the resolution, you can say, and also the size is it's like 1000 times 1000 meters, and we're going to change it, but I'm going to leave it for now. And also this is kind of the blank slate when you do a height map, and I'm going to make a box, and I'm going to make it referenced like this and make this 128. And the reason I have it like this is because this box represents where the thing that we're going to export. So why I do this and why I do it too big is because when I do height field noise, and now you see I see all the noise like this. And let's say if I used 128, you see this is the noise we get. And in order to change the noise, you can offset it like this, you know. But if I do like this, 1000, I kind of can see the noise outside what I'm going to export. So that's why I do like that. And here I'm going to combine methods. I'm going to do the max. And why I do max is because I don't want it to go below 0. So now you see if I do like this, I can kind of know what to import. And I'm going to do another noise. I'm going to use this Whirly Cellular. I like that one. And I want less noise size. And here I find, I'm just gonna go, I like this one here. So now I'm gonna kind of figure out how to get it where I want it. And here I have it inside a bounding box. Yeah, perfect. Then I'm gonna do it a little bit lower like this. And yeah, so now I do this back again to 128 by 128. So this is a good start. And the next thing, I just want to add some extra noise to this because we later are going to do some erosion to it. So if we do a height field noise again, so we're just going to combine methods. Now we're going to add on top of everything. So now we do like this. And you know, yeah, you see this noise is super big and strong. So this is the strength and this is the size, you can say. So now you see, I kind of just want to add a little bit like this. And also, if we look at this one, we can do a height field draw mask. This one is really nice because if I look above, I can, when I have this one and press enter in here, I can start draw like this. So I'm actually creating a mask. And then I can blur it like this. Yeah, let's leave it like that. So what's happening now, we have the noise all over, but you see this input here is a mask. If I plug this one in, we only add the mask where the mask is made. So yeah, that's super nice. And I'm actually going to do max on this one because I'll now actually, yeah, I'm going to do add. It's going to be okay. So this is cool. And also this noise, I'm going to do some distortion. I want it to be a little bit more distortion. Yeah, I'm going to leave it to this. It's going to be fine. So the last thing I'm just going to do is a height erosion, height field erode. And this is simulate like water erosion over time. And I'm just going to do it until maybe frame 9. So now you see it's kind of made some erosion on it. And for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm going to make another tutorial to go much more in depth. And I'm going to do a height field blur as well. And just blur it super tiny bit. So this is the thing we're going to have. And I want a... let's see, I want a reference file. So I'm going to make this convert height field and I'm going to convert it into polygons. And the reason why I do this is because I want to know for sure I get the correct thing from the height field later on. So I'm just going to do transform and do it 100 times to compensate from the scale difference with Houdini and Unity. And we're going to do a ROP FBX to output this one. So this is going to be the terrain reference. So if I save this one and put it into Unity, put it to here. So now we have, this is the FBX. So this is not a height field. So this is a mesh. But I want this one because now we can have a reference to know that what we export and import is the same rotation and it's the same scale and size. So we get all that. So it's kind of a reference file. So that's good. So that's nice. And now we just do an height field output. So this height field output, gonna export our height field. So the file name, if we do $hip, it's going to be next to the hip file. So it's going to have this folder path until here. And then we're going to do height map. And we're going to do it to PNG file. So here you have pack raster. I think it's the, I don't remember what it was. I think it was some kind of, I'm not going to say anything so I don't say wrong. So, but anyway, the format, we're going to have just a single channel. And we're going to have a 16-bit fixed. And the let's see, and we're gonna leave everything resolution. So we know it's 128 by 128 because that's what we put up here. So now we know that the size is, no, sorry, this is a resolution, of course. I'm just gonna copy this value and paste it here. So now we do resolution. So I'm going to do 512 to this one. We can change this later. And in here, in the red channel, we're going to have the height. And if you do, later on going to show you how to do more stuff. But in this tutorial, I'm just going to show the basics. So we're going to use more channels later on. But here we have the height, and also we need to know the height of this file. So you see no remapping, but we're going to do manual. You have auto remapping. And I'm going to do manual remapping. So how high is this mountain? Well, if you middle click on this file here, you see this is 128 by 128 in width and in X and Z direction. And here it's 52 in the height. And so really nice way to get this one. We can just do a Wrangler. And I'm going to do it to detail, so it only go once. And get height like this. So I'm going to do get bbox size. Let's see if we do. So when we do f, it's a float, and at, that's creating an attribute. So we're going to do height. So we're going to do a height attribute on this detail. And the value is going to be get bbox size in 0. And 0 is the first input here. And this is a vector. So it's x, y, and z. We're going to do dot I to get the height. And by doing this, if you go in here, you see the height. So we save this file. So if we just copy this, I did Control C to copy it. Now we just in the height from, let's see. So before, I'm just going to try one thing. Let's keep this from 0 to 1 like this. So if we save to disk now, and now we go back to Unity, and now we see here, you see our height map. And the terrain toolbox needs a raw file. So what we need to do, if we double click on it, so then we open this PNG file in Photoshop. So what you want to do is so you want to take this one and convert it to a raw file. And if you click here on image and mode, you can see it's a grayscale and it's 16 bits, and that's exactly what we want. But we don't want it in PNG files, so we're going to have it save a copy. So you see there's save as and save a copy. If you do save as and try to find a raw file here, you won't find it. So you need to save it as a copy. So you can click this button here. Then you will find it there. So you can just do save a copy and then you find the raw file. So that's how you save it as a raw file. And then Macintosh or PC, we're going to do PC. Okay. And now we have it here. So this is the height map in a raw file. So when we create in that terrain toolbox, the total terrain width and length is 128 by 128. So you need to dial that in. And the terrain height, we got it from here. So copy that one. We're going to do it like this, paste, and we're going to leave this for now, and we're going to do import height map, and you're going to click on this use raw file, and then you have it like this, select raw file, and it just looks like a box. So you actually need to drag it out to find this menu here. So when you do that, you need to go into the place where you saved it. So I saved it here. So I'm actually going to just put this one here so I can just find that folder quicker next time. And here you have it. So you select it and now you have it here. So the terrain height is here and here. And if you create, you have it here. So you see it looks a little bit funky, and what we need to do is go into Houdini, and you actually need here from 0 to 1. You need to change that value too, because you need to convert 0 down here up to this point. That's going to be 52, and you want to squeeze it down to be between 0 and 1, because that's the 16-bit range on the height map. So if we save to disk again, and we open this, if you look into Photoshop, this is the old file. You see it's very white here. But if you open the newly exported one, you see if we update it, you see now it's a more nicer gradient because it's from 0 to 1. So that's how you do it. And you have a thing in Photoshop that's pretty nice. So it's in Windows and Actions. And here you can create actions, because I'm going to do this quite a lot. So I'm just going to show you how to do it. And so because I wanted to save it as a raw file for me, just by clicking once, I save a few clicks. So I'm going to do a new here. So I'm going to do save to raw, copy, and record. So now you see it's red here, and whatever I do in Photoshop now, it records. So I'm going to do file, save a copy, and I'm going to do here a raw and do save. And I'm going to do replace. I'm going to do PC and OK. So I think that was kind of 10 clicks or something. And if I know now in Photoshop, if I delete this file here, so now we only have the PNG file, and I close this one. So when I open the PNG file into Photoshop, then I just have this save to raw copy. If I just click play here, now it's saved for me. So I maybe saved 10 clicks for each time I go here. So now you see here, it's popped up again. So now, because it reads the same file again, and we have the correct numbers here, and we also have the correct number here. And now, if we create it once again, and if you don't have this one, replace terrains, you will always add new terrains here. But now if you have this one ticked, you will replace this one. So if I do create, now you see it imports in the correct way. So the last thing, the terrain, the position is in this a little bit offset because it's exported not in its own way. So it's not really correct position, but if you just move this one to the correct place, so it's going to be 64, 64. And now you see it doesn't really import correctly. And there is two things going on here. So in order to make sure that you get what you expect in the right rotation and everything, because we have this FBX file here, it's our reference to know that everything should be exported like that. So the thing you do is in here, you have this flop 90 degrees because you actually want this terrain to be rotated 90 degrees. So we do it flop 90 degrees. And also you need to flip it horizontally. So now we save it to disk again. And in Unity, we have the PNG file we saved here. So if I double click it, it's going to be updated. So now you're going to notice it's going to be twisted and rotated. So I update it. And then I just click play here to save it one more time. Now this file is updated accordingly as well. So now if we go into the terrain toolbox, because it reads the same file, we just click create and the replace terrains is checked. So we're just going to replace it. And now you see it is like, on top. So this is great. Now we get exactly the correct height as expected, and we get it in the right rotation and flip the correct way. So this is super nice. So according to these things, you should export it with 1 pixel, well, 1 unit more. But I didn't get it to work, so I'm a little bit confused, but I think you should read it. And also it says sampling corner, and I'm going to show you what that means. So, and so it's kind of how it reads the pixels. And I'm just going to do like this. I'm going to move these ones here. So these two are at the moment saved as the recommended center, not recommended. This is a center. They want you to use corner instead. So what we have here, this is a center. So I'm just going to make a text here, and I'm going to make sure we do it center on it. So we have a little bit messy. Okay, this is our center, and I'm going to show you the difference about the sampling, right? So we're going to make this one black. Now we see it better. That's good. Now we're just going to make one that's in the corner. So we just make a new one, and we're going to make it corner. Save it. And I'm going to open the corner PNG file. And I'm just going to save it as a raw file. So now we have the raw file, and in here I'm gonna, in the terrain, we're gonna make sure we read the corner, and I'm not gonna replace, I'm gonna make a new one. So now we have this one here, and we're just gonna put this one in and put it in the reference mesh to 64 by 64. So this is the odd thing, because if you look like, if you see these ones now, it's messy. Okay, you see this one, now this is center and this is corner sampled, and I find the center be more correct, and the corner is a little bit offset, so I'm just, they recommend you to use corner, so maybe that's the correct way to use. So I'm gonna stick to that, but it looks like center is more aligned to the mesh, you know. But anywho, this is the basics, how you get it into Unity. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna make more tutorials about this, so see you in the next ones.